PDP Laban files a petition to reopen the filing of certificates of candidacy for the 2022 elections. The petition was filed earlier today before the Commission on Elections. It also includes a motion to postpone or suspend the printing of ballots. In a statement, PDP Laban Secretary General Melvin Matibag explains there are several cases affecting candidates and party lists still pending before the COMELEC. As of November 25th, there are a total of 89 petitions for the cancellation of various candidacies. These include those filed against presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos. There's also a petition questioning the legitimacy of the two factions of PDP Laban. Keep it here on CNN Philippines to get the stories as they happen. I'm Ruth Cabal. Happy New Year.
This Christmas I want to greet our Lord Jesus Christ. Naunta sa hingpit, mawala ng COVID-19 o mabalik sa mayong panglawas ng tanan nga nagsakit ni usaban pang mga balatian. Wala nang tayo dugang katalagman nga maabot pa kanato o unta nga kita makaanggo, makalimadmad sa atong mga sala nga nahimo, gatagan kita kalig-on, kaisog pagpakigbatok sa mga tentasyon sa pagpakasala. O Merry Christmas kanaton tanan. Ang Ginoong Hesukristo magauban ng nato kanunay.
Ang panahon sa Pasko, mao'y panahon alang sa kalipay kasagya sa Kristohanong katilingban o sa tibuok kalibutan. Atong sa ulugon ang Pasko o bagong tuig uban sa pag-amping, bisan pa man ng panahon sa pandemya. Ang Pasko panahon sa paghinatagay, paghihahang panay, panagtigong sa pamilya. Higala og mga barkada, ang Pasko mo'y paghandong sa pagkatao sa atong manunubos nga sa Ginoong Hesukristo. Si Mayor Alexis Quina sa lungsod sa Balingasag, Misamis Oriental, uban sa iyang hamiling manay, ngitimbaya sa tanang taga-Balingasag, Misamis Oriental ug sa tanan sa usa ka malipayong Pasko ug mulahang bagong tuig sa tanan. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year kaninyong tanan gikan ni Mayor Alexis Quina sa lungsod sa Balingasag. Si Nicky Neri sa lalawigan sa Camiguin, may padangan siyang pasubo sa mga katawan sa Mindanao o sa Visayas, ilabi na sa mga napiguan sa kusog na bagyong udet nga may apak sa Visayas o sa Mindanao. Ning panahon sa Pasko, panahon sa kalipay, kay mao kini ang pagkatao sa atong Ginoo nga si Jesucristo. Bisan pa man sa pandemya nga atong nasinapti sa tibuok kalibutan, dili nato wadon ang atong paglaom, padayon ta sa pagsandya uban sa atong mga sakop sa panimalay, mga higala o mga kaparintingan. Magsandya kita ning panahon sa Pasko. Si Nicky Neri sa lalawigan sa Camiguin, uban sa iyang hamiling banay, mitimbaya sa tanang Camiguinon ug sa tanan sa usa ka malipayong Pasko ug mabungahong bagong tuig. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. Gikan ni Nicky Neri sa lalawigan sa Camiguin.
Ning panahon sa Pasko, atong ipakita ang atong pagbihalay, kalimtan ang mga pagmahal, kayugot, kasuko sa atong isikatawo. Bisan pa man sa pandemya o bagong migo nga bagyong Odette nga nakahatag sa problema o midaot sa kinabuhi o kabtanan sa daghan natong mga kaigsuonan sa Visayas o Mindanao. Dili na mahimubabag sa atong pagsaulog sa Pasko. Maglipay kita kay Pasko na. Si Board Member Bibing Dumadag sa lalawigan sa Misamis Oriental gitimbaya sa tanan sa usa ka malipayong Pasko ug walahang bagong tuig sa tanan. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year kaninyong tanan. Gikan ni Board Member Bibing Dumadag sa Misamis Oriental.
Wishing you a Christmas that's merry and bright. Si Joy Martinez sa Maryland, USA nang hinaot sa tanan alang sa safe, healthy, and relaxing holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year gikan kang Joy Martinez na nakabase sa Maryland, USA. Iha pa ang imong mga panalangin, kantaha ang mga awit sa Pasko ug buksi ang imong mga regalo. Hinaot ang grasya sa Dios madagaya sa atong kinabuhi, dili lamang karon nga panahon kundi dili hangtod na sa hangtod. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a bountiful New Year. Mensahe nga gipaabot nila ni Mr. and Mrs. Rene Lulong Agcopra, ang nanag-iya sa Agcopra General Merchandise na himutang sa Kabulawan sakop sa lungsod sa Lagonglong, Misamis Oriental.
Maayong adlaw mga higala. Kini si Deputy Speaker of Cagayan de Oro 2nd District, Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. Panahon na usab kita magselebrar sa Pasko. Higayon kini sa pagpasalamat sa Ginoo sa grasya na atong nadawat ug pagpakita sa pagminahalay sa isig katawo. Panahon sab kini nga kita magtinabangay karon padayon ta sa pagbangon gikan sa COVID-19 pandemic. Food box sa pagpangayuda pinansyal atong ihatag sa mga labing nanginahanglan. Katawhan una gayud sa tanan. Subli ini inyong Mr. Performance Rufus Rodriguez. Merry Christmas ug Happy New Year kanatong tanan. Daghang salamat.
Mga higala o mga mabuot na lungsuranon dinhi sa siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro, kini si Councilor Roger Jer Abaday uban sa akong pamilya. Manimbaya kaninyong tanan. Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year. Tiliwala sa atong pandemya nga atong giatubang karon, ato gyapon sa ulugon ang kapaskuhan. Tungod kay kining panahon na, mao'y pagkatao sa atong labawng kagagahom na nagluwas sa kanato gikan sa kasalanan, nagipadala sa iyang mahal nga amahan. Let us celebrate Christmas with love, joy, and unity, even in the times of crisis and in trouble. So once again, kini si Councilor Roger Abaday, greetings you. Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year. Keep safe and be strong all the time.
Kini inyong konsihala Bebot Rodriguez. Taliwala sa kalisod kita magpadayon sa pag-ampo nga himsog ug malinawon. Amping kanunay, maayong Pasko mga igsuon. Bebot Rodriguez, ang probinsyana, may kaisog ug kasing-kasing sa usak ka inahan.
Merry Christmas! No matter what happens in life, make sure you don't stop believing in yourself. May this wonderful time of Christmas and New Year fills your life with happiness, health, and wealth. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Have a nice time. A message from Arlene Katayo Kuwaiden from Germany. Si Arlene Katayo Kuwaiden na taga-Baliwagan, Balinasag, Misamis Oriental, usa na ka-certified podologist sa Germany. Nag-specialize siya sa mga diabetic patients and circulatory disorders of the lower extremity. Subli sa tanan, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Arlene Katayo Kuwaiden of Germany.
Mangita ka ba sa kagamitan pagpalong sa sunog? Ayaw himo ang problema. Matubag ka na sa Unifier Industrial Enterprises. Ana kanila ang mga dry chemical fire extinguishers o uban pangkikinangan sa pagsungko sa sunog sama sa mga fire hydrant, fire hose o uban pa. Ayaw himo ang problema. Labi na kung adunay problema panahon sa sunog. Kung sa iyong paglangan, bisita sa ilang buwan o tawag sa cellphone number 0916-480-3267 o sa ilang telepono 088-881-3954. Ang Unifier Industrial Enterprise Enterprises ay utang sa Salcido Compound na kudaw sa Division Colombo Kapasan ng Tagbayan sa Cagayan de Oro. Si El Redondo nagagtagumala sa Unifier Industrial Enterprises uman sa iyang biling manay itibaya sa tanan sa usa ka malipayong Pasko ug mabunahong bagong tuig sa tanan. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. Ika ni Mr. Al Redondo.
Christmas is a season not only of rejoicing, but of reflection. Si Dr. Doris Fe Tagayuna sa unang distrito ng siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro, hinaot na ang matag banay makasinati sa matuod nga gugma o kalipay nining kapanahunan sa Pasko hangtod na sa pagsugat sa bagong tuig. Ang iyang pag-ampo nga mapuno sa milagro ang atong kasaulugan uban sa dili malintang panghitabo o hangtod sa hangtod matagan nato sa bili. Sa gihapon, ang Pasko is the most wonderful time of the year. Malipayong Pasko, bulahang bagong tuig sa tanan. Mensahe nga gipaabot ni Dr. Doris Fe Tagayuna sa unang distrito ng siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro.
Years akong senador at nagsulong ng mga batas na nakakatulong sa mga nangangailangan.
Para sa aming edukasyon, para sa karapatan naming mahihirap, batas para sa aming kabuhayan, batas para ipagbawal ang child labor, mga batas para sa kalikasan at climate change.
Mga batas na ginawa ko na napapakinabangan ngayon, sana makatulong pa ako sa mas marami.
Loren Legarda!
Ning panahon sa Pasko, atong ipakita ang atong pagbihalay, kalimtan ang mga pagmahal, kayugot, kasuko sa atong isikatawo. Bisan pa man sa pandemya o bag-ong migo nga bagyong Odette nga nakahatag sa problema o midaot sa kinabuhi o kabtanan sa daghan natong mga kausuunan sa Visayas o Mindanao. Dili na mahinugbabag sa atong pagsaulog sa Pasko. Maglipay kita kay Pasko na. Si board member Bibing Dumadag sa lalawigan sa Misamis Oriental gitimbaya sa tanan sa usa ka malipayong Pasko ug walahang bag-ong tuig sa tanan. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year kaninyong tanan gikan ni board member Bibing Dumadag sa Misamis Oriental.
Mga higala o mga mabuot na lungsuranon dinhi sa siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro, kini si Councilor Roger Jer Abaday uban sa akong pamilya. Manimbaya kaninyong tanan. Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year. Tiliwala sa atong pandemya nga atong giatubang karon, ato gyapon sa ulugon na ang kapaskuhan. Tungod kay kining panahon na, mao'y pagkatao sa atong labawng kagagahom na nagluwas sa kanato gikan sa kasalanan, nagipadala sa iyang mahal nga amahan. Let us celebrate Christmas with love, joy, and unity, even in the times of crisis and in trouble. So once again, kini si Councilor Roger Abaday, greetings you. Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year. Keep safe and be strong all the time.
Nagpangita ka ba sa kagamitan pagpalong sa sunog? Ayaw mo ang problema. Matubag ka na sa Unifier Industrial Enterprises. Ana kanila ang mga dry chemical fire extinguishers o uban panggiginangan sa pagsungkol sa sunog sama sa mga fire hydrant, fire hose o uban pa. Ayaw mo ang problema. Labi na kung adunay problema panahon sa sunog. Musa iyong paglangan, bisita sa ilang botan o tawag sa cellphone number 0916-480-3267 o sa ilang telepono 088-881-3954. Ang Unifier Industrial Enterprises ay utang sa Salcido Compound na kudaw sa Subdivision Colombo na pasad ng Dagbayan sa Cagayan de Oro. Si El Redondo nagkagtagumala sa Unifar Industrial Enterprises uman sa iyang biling manay ay gibaya sa tanan sa usa ka malipayong Pasko ug mabunahong bagong tuig sa tanan. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. Ika ni Mr. Al Redondo.
Wishing you a Christmas that's merry and bright. Si Joy Martinez sa Maryland, USA, nang hinaot sa tanan alang sa safe, healthy, and relaxing holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year gikan kang Joy Martinez na nakabase sa Maryland, USA.
Ang mata mo ay bintana sa atong lawas at iman na kini sama sa pagatiman nato sa atong ipon, panit, puhok ug uban pa. Ang Health Code International nga nakabase sa Amerika mipadayag sa tiunay nga suporta alang sa lawas ng pagpakabana inabi na sa atong mata. Ang tumang exposure ni ining atong mata nga dala sa pollution, radiation, ultraviolet ray ug bisan pa chemical nga anaa sa tubig nga atong ginakaligo matag adlaw mao'y usa sa mga dagkong hinungdan sa katarak, glaucoma, iridium, sore eyes, eye stress, computer vision syndrome ug uban pa. Apan dili kita angay mabalakan ni ini tungod kay anaa nay CMD eye drops. CMD eye drops mohatag kini constant cleaning sa atong mata ug moprotektar kini sa posibleng pagkadaot ni ini nga dala sa alisngaw sa kalibutan. CMD eye drops patuloy 1 to 2 drops kada mata duha ngadto sa 3 ka beses matag adlaw alang sa piskat patuloy kaduha kada 5 ka minuto. Also introducing Cell Biofood kung CBF, the most powerful natural microfood in the planet. Feed your cells, not your stomach. Ang Cell Biofood adunay kompletong sangkap sa food nutrients nga kinahanglanon sa atong lawas. Ang pulo ka rason nganong CBF ang atong gabiton. Una, natural kini, alkaline food, health building microcell food, adunay cell growth factor, protection sa mga sakit, maayo para sa weight control, proven na kini, convenient ug ekonomiya. Cell Biofood kung CBF na kita. Ug aduna pa ang SJ5 Supreme Fruits and Vegetables Powder Juice nga maayong source alang sa vitamin C, puno sa antioxidants. Mupalikon sa atong immune system, mupa-increase sa atong body hydration, mu-boost sa atong energy level, maingon man better vascular health and promote longevity. JS5 Supreme ginamagyapon sa Health Code International. FDA approved ug halal ang produkto sa Health Code International.
Ang produkto sa CMD mahimong mapalit sa sigahan sa RPN DXKO Teleradyo na naibutang sa Busa Highway ng siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro. Alang sa health consultation, tawagan si Raquel Villanueva sa telepono numero 0956-2561-986.
Ako bisdak party list anda mulaban, mutambag, umulantaw sa kayuhan kanatong mga Bisayang dako. Ako bisdak.
This message is paid for by friends of Dodong Mendet. Hinaot nga matuod nga espiritu sa Pasko, mudanag sa imong kasing-kasing o magiwag sa imong dalan. Si Kagawad Rena Quirino sa Poblasyon 3, Villanueva, Misamis Oriental nang hinaot nga ang kasawugan sa Pasko muhatod kanato sa kahayag sa gugma sa Ginoo ug nga unta kini nga higayon muhatag kanatong oportunidad sa pagpamalandong sa kaminungdanon sa mga butang sa atong palibot. Merry Christmas and may all your Christmases be white. Mensahe sa Pasko nga gipaabot ni Kagawad Rena Quirino sa Poblasyon 3, Villanueva, Misamis Oriental uban ang paminaot sa hingpit nga pagkabot sa bulahang bagong tuig.
Alang sa akong mga kaparintihan o kaigsunan sa syudad sa Cagayan de Oro o sa probinsya sa Misamis Oriental o Misamis Occidental, sa akong baga ng mga kaigsunan o kaparintihan sa Bukidnon o diya sa Kabigin nga akong mga salong sana kining inyong ubos nga igsoon si Atty. Dudong Mendez kung padagat o pagtimbaya sa usa ka malipayong Pasko o bulahang bagong tuig kanatong tanan. Daghang salamat.
Christmas is a season not only of rejoicing but of reflection. Si Dr. Doris Fe Tagayuna sa unang distrito ng siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro, uminaot nga matag banay makasinati sa matuod nga gugma o kalipay ning kapanahonan sa Pasko hangtod na sa pagsugat sa bagong tuig. Ang iyang pag-ampo nga mapuno sa milagro ang atong kasaulugan uban sa dili malintang pangitabo o hangtod sa hangtod mahatagan nato sa bili. Sa gihapon, ang Pasko is the most wonderful time of the year. Marit tayong Pasko mula hang bagong tuig sa tanan. Mensahe di paabot ni Dr. Doris Fe Tagayuna sa unang distrito ng siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro.
Kini inyong konsihala Bebot Rodriguez. Taliwala sa kalisod kita magpadayon sa pag-ampo nga himsog ug malinawon. Amping kanunay, maayong Pasko mga igsuon. Bebot Rodriguez, ang probinsyana, may kaisog ug kasing-kasing sa usa ka inahan.
RPN, Radio Philippines Network Incorporated, DXKO. Presa sa Sinday Utso sa dial sa inyong radyo. RPN DXKO, ang Radyo Ronda dili sa Nagbayan sa Cagayan de Oro. Sibiyahan na may dalaon sa katawhan, andang mo serbisyo sa tanan. Ang RPN DXKO Radyo Ronda sakop sa KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
For the first time since May of last year, we are seeing less people who are testing positive for COVID-19. The Department of Health says based on lab results on November 12, only less than 4% of more than 40,000 people tested positive for the coronavirus. These results are promising because the World Health Organization recommends that the positivity rate remain below 5% for at least 2 weeks before governments can consider reopening. But scientists are also reporting a new mutation of the very contagious Delta variant. It's called Delta Plus, which is now present in many countries. Most cases have been found in the United Kingdom. And again, it's raising a lot of questions, including how effective our vaccines are against it. What do we know about Delta Plus? And what does this mean for us here in the country? I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching Med Talk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. We're here to build a healthier future for you. We are seeing hopeful signs of more and more people testing negative for COVID-19. But we are again up against a new mutation of the Delta variant, which is claimed to be more transmissible. To help us with today's discussion, let's welcome Dr. John Wong. He's an epidemiologist and the Senior Technical Advisor of Epimetrics. Also with us is Dr. Mark Edsel Ayes. He's the head of Clinical Genomics Laboratory at the Philippine Genome Center. Let's start with some good news. Dr. John, let's explain to our viewers these hopeful numbers. Ano? So, gumaganda ang situation natin. Less people are testing positive for COVID-19. What could be mainly attributed to this? Are Filipinos doing the right thing in combating the virus? Or is this a natural progression of any pandemic?
One is transmission rate is going down, meaning people are masking better now. Second is contact rates are also down, no? Meaning people are also observing social distancing. And then third, that testing capacity has caught up, no, with the number of cases, so that we're able to catch those who are infectious and isolate and quarantine them immediately. You have to continue these helpful behaviors, no? Masking, early testing when symptomatic, but most important of all, no, those who have not been vaccinated should try to get vaccinated.
But as we know, mutations of viruses are very common. And we are now seeing the Delta Plus or AY.4.2, which looks very similar to the original Delta variant. Dr. Edsel, let's explain how these mutations happen and how are the two different, this Delta Plus and the Delta variant.
Mutations are actually spontaneous. They occur as a result of evolution. You can think of it as a ways of the virus to adapt, no? And as we are vaccinating, as we are increasing our exposure, because it's already been nearly 2 years now since the virus has been introduced into the human population, naturally viruses like this will mutate in order to adapt and maintain its hold on us, basically. Now, the Delta Plus is called such because it is derived from the original Delta. You can think of it as parang anak niya, no? So it is basically an evolution from that original Delta. And the reason why it is of concern is that it has some mutations in its spike protein, which is the one that interacts and is also with our body cells, and it's also the target of our vaccines, has changed in such a way that it could potentially become more infectious and possibly also evade our immune systems.
Dr. Edsel, when it comes to this even newer variant coming up, the Omicron variant, how does this compare with Delta Plus? Mas grabe ba tong si Omicron?
The Omicron variant that you're mentioning, or the B11529, no? This was reported early on. So it raised concerns because it has a lot of mutations that are quite concerning in what I mentioned, the spike protein. But I would also like to make it clear that there have only been several cases. And in South Africa, they noted a large number that, in proportion to the sampling that they're doing. So there are only a very few number of cases. So they've only raised the flag for now. It doesn't mean that it's already spreading at madaming.
Is it too early to have face-to-face gatherings with loved ones and relatives, which I know a lot of Filipinos are so eager to have already?
One, you should be vaccinated. Second, no, meet in a well-ventilated area, no, open space if possible. And third, mask up. Under these conditions, no, it would be safe to meet, no, but otherwise, no, you'll be at risk of getting infection, no, if any one of these conditions is absent.
But with the little information, or with the current information that we know with these two variants, does it seem like that the current vaccines may have a hard time in trying to hold these new variants back?
And it's too early to say because the number of cases aren't that sufficient enough to make a very strong recommendation. But in line with our understanding of the immunity that can be provided with the existing vaccines and the updates on the boosters, we believe that at the very least, it will provide protection, at least in the form of reducing severe and also hospitalization, which is something that you also have to consider.
Now, most Delta Plus infections have been seen in people who are unvaccinated, but studies also show that the variant has increased transmissibility even among the vaccinated people. Dr. Mark, why does this happen? Do we know why breakthrough infections occur more?
It's that the mutations in the spike protein of the Delta Plus are such that it is exquisitely efficient. Now, when we say exquisitely efficient, it means that it doesn't need as many viral particles in order to cause an infection. What I'm trying to say is it's not a problem of the vaccine that they are getting infected despite the fact that they are vaccinated, but because of the fact that the virus is mutating to such a way that it is more efficient at causing infections.
Dr. John, we've been emphasizing the importance for people to get vaccinated, and early on, the amount of vaccines was an issue. Is that still the problem now?
Herd immunity may no longer be possible, no, because of the high transmissibility of Delta, and also we have less than perfect vaccine efficacy. No? So our target should be 100% vaccination. What are the factors that affect full vaccination? First, availability of the supplies. No, so right now we probably have enough supply for about 55%, no, or 60% of the population. No, so if more people want to be vaccinated, no, we will not have enough. No. Second, accessibility. No, can people get to the vaccination sites? No, our vaccination rate for the elderly is only at 60%. So are these 40% having mobility issues? No, so we need to address that.
Now, scientists say that vaccines do a lot more than just trigger the production of neutralizing antibodies. Does this mean that booster shots add an extra layer of protection? More on this when we return. We're your connection to healthcare, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. The Health Department recently approved the provision of booster shots. But many ask, who can avail of these and how quickly? And what are the basic guidelines for getting one? I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. We're together in health. Additional doses of the COVID-19 vaccine will soon be available to Filipinos before the end of 2021. A booster shot is an additional dose after the protection provided by the original one decreases over time. And usually a booster is given after the immunity from the initial dose starts to wane. Dr. John, who can get these booster shots? Who are eligible for these? And how long after should they be getting one after their last dose?
First is health workers, no? Because they're essential to protect the rest of the population. No? We don't want them to even get an infection. No? The second group are people whose immunity has waned, no? Months after their primary series, and who need additional protection, no? Because if they get hospitalized, no, it's usually more severe. No? So these are the elderly, people with comorbidities, no? And also people who are immunocompromised now.
Could you explain to our viewers the importance of a booster shot, and should they think of their original vaccine being non-effective? Should they get another set of vaccine of a different brand maybe?
So there's also this understanding that it looks like the primary series might have been more effective if there was an additional dose, but that information was not available at the time. So now that we've had about a year of experience, this is where we are coming in to adjust the dosing schedule. Now, for those who have already had a primary series, the booster shot is a single dose that comes thereafter, no? And based on the studies that have been done on booster shots, at least for the Philippines, no, the recommendation states that the preferred dose is Pfizer, regardless of your primary series, followed thereafter by homologous. Ibig sabihin nun, kung ano man yung initial dose primary series ninyo, yan din yung matatanggap nyo na booster shot. And this is based mostly on the safety profiles, of course, no, to minimize the side effects.
After getting the primary series, they're thinking of getting another brand, another type, an mRNA type, but with the two shots. Are there any risks to these? What can you advise to those who are contemplating this type of procedure?
If you're looking at Pfizer or mRNA vaccines as a booster shot, now they can increase your protection from primary infection by already above 90%. So a single dose is already effective. So therefore, at least for now, no, because the studies have yet to show if two-dose or a full schedule as booster compared to single booster is more effective. We don't know that yet because the time frame, hindi pa nakaabot tayo ng time to make that conclusion.
Now let's go over some of the details of recommendations made to the Health Department by the independent panel known as the Health Technology Assessment Council, or HTAC. Now the recommendation of the Health Technology Assessment Council includes giving booster shots for healthcare workers and senior citizens 6 months after they complete their single or two-dose COVID-19 vaccine, while immunocompromised patients are recommended to get additional shots at least 28 days after they complete their vaccination. There are 4 types of COVID-19 vaccines available here in the Philippines today, and you can see them on your screen. There's the whole virus vaccine, such as Sinovac and Sinopharm. Then there are the RNA or mRNA vaccines, which examples are the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna. Third is the non-replicating viral vector, such as the AstraZeneca and Sputnik, and the protein subunit, such as Novavax. Is choosing one or the other still important, or is it still whatever is available in front of you is okay to get?
When you boost it, it's best to choose the most effective vaccine. Second, what is the supply availability in your region or in your LGU? And third, we've also seen that if we mix vaccine brands, sometimes that confers a greater immunity because it generates a broader immune response. So those are the reasons why mixing and matching is also a good idea.
Are there any risks to mixing and matching different types of vaccines, different boosters for that matter? What can you advise those who are wary about their own physical health?
It has been generally seen to be safe. There isn't an increased risk of side effects in either group, and it has conferred. It has been able to provide the immunity that is needed from those mixed shots.
So Dr. John, really quick, now that the rollout for the pediatric age group, the 12 to 17 age group is underway, do we expect that the kids will need a booster shot then around 6 months down the road?
We need to observe the effect of the primary series on children. The clinical trials on children have just been concluded. There hasn't been sufficient follow-up period to see whether they will also experience the same amount of weaning.
What role do the unvaccinated play in the whole picture on how different variants come into play, Dr. John?
The increased transmissibility. So we still have a large pool of uninfected individuals, unvaccinated and uninfected. So variants will increase the rate at which these people become infected. What vaccines do is, if you think of the pool of susceptibles as a bathtub, what vaccination does, it drains the bathtub, so it reduces the number of susceptibles. So it also decreases your risk of getting these people infected. So that's the importance of getting as many people as possible vaccinated, so that they can develop immunity.
Now, it's been almost 2 years since the pandemic has started. When we return, we'll talk about the new treatments for COVID-19. Your health is our mission. This is MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. There's currently no cure yet for COVID-19, but experts are studying the many different treatments that can be administered. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines, where your care comes first. Scientists all over the world are looking for the antiviral drugs meant to reduce the risk of COVID-19 hospitalization as well as death. What do we know so far about this drug? Should the hopes and dreams of the Filipinos of a cure be assured with this new medication?
Molnupiravir is intended to be administered early on in the viral. If you look at it in terms of a timeline, in the early stages of the timeline upon infection, it's not intended to treat severe illness, and also it is not intended to be a prophylactic. So that means at early onset of symptoms, and if there's a high index of suspicion, even without a positive RT-PCR, you may choose to start it in order to shorten the duration of the illness and also hopefully decrease the probability of a patient requiring hospitalization in order to address the symptoms.
First batches have already arrived here in the Philippines. What does it look like in terms of distribution? Where will this drug be concentrated more? Who will be able to get this more?
The people who are eligible for this drug are the elderly and people with comorbidities. So it should be sent, or it should be distributed to areas where a lot of these A2 and A3 populations, no, have not yet been vaccinated, no, because they are still at very high risk of hospitalization and disease.
Dr. John, what can you advise those who are thinking, I don't need to take the vaccine anymore because there is a drug, molnupiravir is here? What can you advise to those who might be thinking that route?
There's a population have no other recourse, no, except to get vaccinated, no. But even for people for which molnupiravir is indicated, no, it's still best to get vaccinated, no, because the effect is more sustainable, no. Molnupiravir is effective only if you're given it within the first 5 days of onset of symptoms. No? If you miss that window, it's no longer effective.
What does our future look like? What do the future of Filipinos look like when it comes to this pandemic? Are we seeing light at the end of the tunnel?
I think people just have to realize na we're still in the midst of a pandemic, even if it doesn't feel like it. No? An analogy I used for my pamangkin is that para siyang, you know, when the cat is gone, the mouse comes out to play. It doesn't mean the cat's gone. No. So until the world has recovered, you know, people still have to be vigilant. People have to remember that it is still possible, habang marami pang taong hindi pa bakunado, that outbreak and, you know, infections can still occur, and it's something that we're going to have to work together to live with for at least the foreseeable future.
We definitely learned a lot from our experts today. Thank you, epidemiologist Dr. John Wong and Clinical Genomics Lab Head Dr. Mark Edsel Ayes. We want to be your partner for a lifetime of good health. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and this is MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines.